I would like to discuss why I believe this year will be particularly terrible for those who have previously predicted that large institutions will never embrace XRP. I want to talk about that exact subject in this video and explain to you why we are headed toward 2024 being one of the biggest years for institutional adoption of Ripple in the US and globally. I want to go into detail in this video on why I think 2024 will be a really big year for XRP, the digital asset, as well as Ripple, the company. You guys are going to see why individuals who have claimed in the past that large institutions will never utilize XRP are entirely mistaken after watching this video. To begin this video, I would like to briefly present the story that the XRP community has been hearing for a very long time. Large institutions would never genuinely adopt XRP. For some time now, many XRP haters have maintained that the major organizations collaborating with Ripple would never truly utilize XRP as a digital asset. In essence, they have repeatedly stated that, while the institutions collaborating with Ripple would utilize Ripple software, they would never interact with XRP. XRP has never been anything more than a means of financing for Ripple, the firm, enabling them to expand their centralized products and sell XRP at retail. Let's first discuss how this forecast has come to pass, and then discuss why, for those who have been making this prediction, things will only become worse in 2024. Let's begin by discussing the current state of Ripple's business model. As far as we know, Ripple is exclusively developing products related to their XRP-based cross-border payment solution. The people who harbor hate have stated that something like this could never occur. They said that XRP had no practical use and was merely a fundraising tool. However, as of 2024, XRP will be used directly in all of Ripple's cross-border payment products. From now on, it's solely Ripple's ODL business. For that reason, the digital asset XRP is now used to process each and every payment made over RippleNet. On its face, this completely refutes the claim that Ripple will never use XRP. As a result of Ripple's increasing daily usage of XRP, we can observe that it is becoming a more important component of their payment stack. What else are we witnessing then? As we recently observed, the Commercial Bank of Egypt is already making cross-border payments directly with XRP. Guys, this is a big element of the movement that we are seeing in the adoption of Ripple's technology through the use of the digital asset XRP by foreign banks and other institutions. Almost every month, there are now announcements about new central banks, large commercial banks, and regional banks embracing XRP. Once more, this is just what the detractors claimed would never occur. However, what is still evident is that Ripple is making tremendous progress in collaborating with these regulated organizations globally to facilitate global money transfers, not just through their software, but also by using XRP, the digital asset. Furthermore, a great deal of what has transpired thus far hasn't even been made public. In fact, Ripple revealed in an internal report a few months ago that they are now constructing CBDCs in collaboration with 6 central banks. However, they also stated in that report that they were working on 20 more projects behind the scenes that they are not yet able to reveal. Thus, Ripple has already made enormous progress in persuading major financial institutions and payment processors to embrace XRP for its whole intended use case on a global scale. As I always say, the thing that everyone predicted would never come to pass. And this isn't a localized incident, correct? This is some of the biggest money in the world, as I have stated. The Egyptian bank I indicated before is currently employing XRP to manage assets worth over $500 billion. Having said all of that, I also mentioned in the video's introduction that we would witness a sizable US expansion this year, and I want to discuss why I believe that to be the case. Up until now, the United States has been the lone gap in Ripple's overall dominance of the industry. As we've seen, the Ripple SEC lawsuit caused many institutions to lose interest in the firm. Ultimately, the SEC is the most intimidating regulatory body for financial firms operating in the United States. Therefore, if Ripple is facing legal action from the SEC, it is clear that this has stopped them from rapidly growing their company in the United States, which is the global center of finance. So why do I think that will alter significantly in 2024, even while the Ripple SEC lawsuit is still pending? It ultimately boils down to something Brad Garlinghouse actually said earlier this year, and it's rather interesting. It's the Brad Garlinghouse quote that will startle a lot of people. And that is, The way institutions see cryptocurrencies and cryptocurrency startups in the United States has altered dramatically since Coinbase's initial public offering, IPO. What was Brad then saying? Brad stated that the public launch of Coinbase was a major endorsement for US organizations to begin implementing cryptocurrency technologies, regardless of whether this makes sense rationally. How much more did he say? Additionally, he stated that many conventional financial institutions, including banks and money transmitters, were immediately alarmed that Coinbase was requesting an IPO valuation and that they lacked a cryptocurrency strategy when they saw it. For what reason is that the case? At a $40 billion valuation, Coinbase went public. That is not even close to what the majority of financial services companies in the United States currently operate. Thus, all US financial asset firms were instantly involved in Coinbase's initial public offering. Therefore, as soon as Coinbase went public, all American boards of directors of conventional financial institutions without a cryptocurrency strategy had to convene and decide, okay, what are we going to do in terms of crypto? Since they've only been in business for a few years, a company suddenly appeared and is now quadruple our size. Coinbase's initial public offering IPO in the US demonstrated to established financial institutions that cryptocurrencies are genuine and here to stay. When they first witnessed the impact of cryptocurrency on a company's valuation, it skyrocketed. It took off like a rocket, and now each and every one of these organizations requires a strategy for cryptocurrencies. We are witnessing the exact same scenario unfold with AI, so we are aware of how this ends. These many financial organizations now require a cryptocurrency strategy to support their survival in the financial system of the future. Alternatively, they will be terrified that businesses such as Coinbase and Ripple will steal their food. What benefit has Ripple offered since its launch then? Their role is to collaborate with the conventional financial framework. Their mission is to collaborate with established establishments. To help them navigate this fintech era, Ripple is here. And for that reason, Ripple is in a great position to expand into the United States in 2024. The businesses that will collaborate with these organizations to support their adoption of a blockchain strategy are going to be Ripple. That was Ripple's original intention. But these institutions were unaware of the necessity of Ripple until recently. They were unaware of the reason why Ripple would be essential to their survival. They indicated, quite simply, that there is little chance that any of this blockchain nonsense will come to pass. For now, we'll just brush it off. Why is Ripple necessary? However, these organizations realized, for the first time since Coinbase's IPO, that blockchain was here to stay. Thus, I think Ripple will be doing a lot of business in the US in 2024 since the company has always positioned itself to assist these established financial institutions in making the shift to digital technology. Additionally, we've seen that the Ripple SEC case, which was intended to indict Ripple and paint a picture of the company that included all sorts of dubious activity, that had the opposite effect and demonstrated to major institutions that Ripple is among the most reputable businesses in the cryptocurrency space. The SEC is currently litigating Coinbase, which all the traditional financial institutions believe to be legitimate and are currently pursuing, and Ripple, which just defeated the SEC and is assisting the financial institutions in modernizing their infrastructure. Thus, we are discovering that not only is cryptocurrency driving widespread assessments, actual commerce, and actual use cases, but the entire story behind the SEC's disinformation campaign is also proving to be false. Therefore, I think that 2024 will be the year that many of these major financial institutions in the United States begin to realize, hey, you know what? We are no longer afraid of the SEC in its entirety. We now want to collaborate with Ripple in order to outperform our rivals, as more and more companies may be willing to take the risk and work with Ripple before we do. This could lead to increased valuations, as we saw with Coinbase, and technological superiority over us. The work that Ripple is doing is ideal for the era we are entering. As we move into the digital age, they are assisting established financial institutions in modernizing their systems to remain competitive. Since the beginning, as XRP investors, we have known that these financial institutions would require it. But now, more than ever, they realize how much they need from Ripple. Guys, everything is unfolding precisely as we anticipated. Globally, the largest institutions were the first to adopt this. There was no regulatory pressure on them. For this reason, Ripple is already collaborating with all of the major global banks and central banks. However, the US, Financial sector is beginning to understand it for the first time ever, and they will need to do so swiftly to avoid falling behind and being out-invented. Ripple is ideally positioned to gain from this. They were never the ones yelling at the banks. They were never the ones pleading with authorities. Rather, they were the organization that collaborated with these establishments to improve their infrastructure. These institutions are now at last aware of the dire necessity of updating their infrastructure. And when it comes to laying out their blockchain strategy, I have a hunch that Ripple will be the first business they call. In any case, I hope this movie was useful to you all. I hope it was enjoyable for you. Please remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you did. It will be incredibly beneficial to me.